Hi everyone. For today's CTE Teaching Strategies video, we're going to be talking about student surveys. Student surveys are really about finding out what your students are thinking. And so when students know that their voice matters, it builds ownership in their education. And seeing their feedback implemented shows them they're active participants in their learning journey, not just passive recipients. So by surveying the students and showing them that you have taken their feedback into account, you're going to help build relationships with your students, and that's really important. It's also going to provide really concrete data points that you can use along with your administrators to improve your class. And, rather than relying on assumptions, which sometimes can be a little bit misleading, we have concrete information that we can use. And building our surveys to capture the kinds of information that are most actionable is a really important part of this process. And the other piece that we're going to talk about today a little bit is that surveys have different purposes based on their frequency. You can use it to capture big picture ideas. You can use it to do frequent check-ins. This concept is really just asking students what they're thinking and how they're feeling about your course. So here's some tips to make these the most effective. There's a few different kinds. So exit tickets are going to be your quick one-question surveys to capture a single data point. These are ones that most teachers already sort of use. Hey, how did this lesson go? Tell me one thing you learned today. Things like that. Weekly pulse checks are something you could do at the end of the week that is, really about trying to figure out where your students are and, changes you might want to make for next week. So that might be, good questions to find out some stuff about, how they're feeling about what they're learning, the pacing, what else is going on in the school or in their lives, to know, about maybe why, that assignment didn't get turned in, or, they're struggling with a concept that you thought they should be able to master. Monthly surveys are a great way to track some of your ongoing initiatives. We often have some plans or things we're trying out in our classroom and actually collecting data on, are these things working, right? So for instance, if you have a new classroom routine about, putting things away at the end of the class or some safety or something like that, you want to see, do you feel like these things are being done with fidelity? Are they, how are they impacting the students now that you've implemented this? Things like that. You can, do some questions that are maybe a little more obtuse to the students, but are about trying to find out if a teaching strategy, is working for you. And then the end of the quarter semester surveys are really great for big picture reflections. And I like to think of these as data collection plus student reflection, where they're really telling you how they're feeling about the class and get them to think about the things that they've learned over the things. So then two kind of last quick tips that I think are really important are to think about, make sure you're acting visibly on the feedback. So if you're doing surveys, even something as simple as an exit ticket, make sure it's clear that you're using these to make decisions about how the students are learning. And then the kids will take them much more seriously when they see that this is actually meaningful. This is not a lip service. This isn't sort of busy work for them. It's you're listening, you're caring, you're responding, and you're using this to make good choices for their learning. And then the other piece is just to make time. Build time in class to give these surveys. Sometimes, it's easy to just throw this up on Canvas and attach it to a homework assignment or something like that. But by actually building time in class to talk about why these surveys and why this data is important for you to make decisions, you can get better responses out of your students, and then that feedback cycle turns into a much more collaborative learning experience. In the comments or in the description of this video, I'll have a link to two surveys that I used, one for the end of the quarter, one for this semester, and a link to a video where I break down why I chose the questions that I did. Hope this is helpful.